5S and Mieruka, how cleanliness and visuals build culture. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the amazing concept of visual systems and being able to visualize, which is really, really important. There's really two concepts here, and I am so stoked about it because it really takes us deep into the concepts of how to run a construction project well, and I love it. So if you're interested in that, please stay with me on this video. So first of all, let me talk to you about 5S. Okay, so this is sort, meaning get rid of what you don't need. And these are the English S's, not the Japanese S's. Then straighten, so organize what you have. And then 3, sweep or shine. In scheduling systems, put in sequence. But sweep or shine would basically mean that whatever you have now organized, you're going to wipe the surfaces and clean them. Number 4 and 5 would be standardize. So like if you want to create hooks or create a little cart or create a little jig, or shadow board something, basically make sure that it's standard. And then sustain, meaning do that as a habit on a daily basis. So Paul Akers teaches this the best that I've ever seen. By the way, here's a little interesting thing. A lot of times I think people dismiss Paul Akers because they're like, oh, he makes it so simple. What about bottlenecks? What about tactic planning? What about Jidoka? What about just in time? What about all these advanced concepts? I just want you to know, out of everyone I studied with, Paul Akers knows them the best. So if you're like, lean is this, but Paul talks about this, Paul is actually like this. And so he explains this the best. He's simply trying to simplify it for us. He knows about bottlenecks. He knows about optimization. He knows about the theory of constraints with Eliyahu Goldratt. He knows all about Deming. He knows about quality circles. He knows about all of that stuff. He knows about agile. I mean, he is a lean expert. And so he explains it like this. When you do 5S, you're cleaning and organizing so that you can see. So even if you don't have a sign or a visual, that is a visual system. If I take something, my computer or my gang box or my truck or my office or the job site, and it is sorted, nothing's there that doesn't need to be there, it's all organized, which means it's straightened, and it's swept or cleaned or shined, I can see everything. Oh my gosh, there's a broken part right there. In fact, I did this in my office the other day. I'm like, I have Paul Akers lean foam and my stapler was gone. And I was typing in my family, hey, I love you guys, who stole my stapler? And everybody started teasing me like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. And then my daughter was like, it was me. But it was all clean because I could see it. And so even if there isn't visual signage, you're able to see. So cleanliness and 5S or 3S, 3S is shortening it down just to the first 3. These are visual systems. Now let me take it to the other concept. And I'll tell you a story. At the Cancer Center with Brad Nelson and Jake Smaley and Eric Neese at Hensel Phelps, we did something that was really cool. Level 1, level 3, we built out custom bathrooms. And then once the level 2, level 4 bathrooms were finished, then we switched the workers up into those and then built out levels 1 and 3. But the workers had nice inside bathrooms. And it was beautiful. This whole concept of they'll trash the toilets, it's all garbage. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. All you have to do is get your sanitary systems and temp water up there and you're great. Anyway, what we did is we installed the temporary toilets, put in the stalls, got everything ready to go, and got it to where they could wash their hands. The workers, the people that I respect and love, we fitted out just like Paul talked about. We were like here, and this wasn't insulting, it was just like standard work. This is how you change the toilet paper roll. This is how you replace the napkins. This is when to throw away the stuff in the trash can. This is what to do for a plugged toilet. And everything was there with images of me. I wish I had kept those pictures. I can never find them. It's because every time I leave a job, it's intellectual property. I just leave it with the company, but it was everywhere. And then every now and then we get a little bit of like a teasing thing on the sign. So that's when we were like, okay, we're going to put Chuck Norris jokes in English and in Spanish on the wall. So now when they're doing their business, they're having some fun. They're looking at some jokes and we keep them all refreshed. And then we didn't have any problems. And it was visual. And then you go out to the mirror and it's like, here's how you wash your hands. Here's how you replace the soap. Here's how you wipe down the mirror. Everything was visual. There wasn't any question about how to do anything. It was over the top phenomenal. And so not only is 5 or 3S'ing a visual system, but actual visual communication. And I'll talk about this in other avenues as well, but in construction, everything's got to be out of the superintendent and PM's head. That means we have up on the wall the delivery schedule, we have the inspections, we have all of the zone maps, we have the logistics plan, we have the macro and norm level TAC plans, the look ahead plan, the weekly work plan, everything visual. Total participation is the key. And you can't have total participation unless you have the visual environment through 5 or 3S or actual visuals that communicate standards. It's just not possible. And so this concept is game changing. And so here are some challenges for you that I want to give. How can you, in your next area of influence, actually implement 3 or 5S'ing every day and just become fanatical? Let me just tell you one quick story. There was a great project manager who's now VP, or might even be the president of a construction company now. I think he's actually above vice president now, but Blake Christensen, he walked me out on the side. He's like, I want to take a walk with you, Jason. This was early on when I was learning. And we were pretty clean. He put his arm around me. He's like, Jason, I just want to teach you, cleanliness is the top of everything. And I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he just kept brainwashing and kept brainwashing. And I got more fanatical and more fanatical and more fanatical. And then I listened to Paul Akers. And then I got perfect. Everything's perfectly clean. And something interesting happened immediately. Everything became easy. It was the weirdest thing. I liken it to this S-curve. It's like if there's gravity, if a contractor is dirty, halfway clean, a little bit clean, or kind of clean, there's gravity always pulling you down. But if you're on the top, you're on the pinnacle, you're on the peak, it's like you just climbed a mountain and you're sitting on the top resting. There's no gravity. There's just normal gravity. There's not drag anymore. Perfect cleanliness is the way to go, and complete visual systems. So what can you 5S or 3S tomorrow, and what can you make visual? Nothing in your head. And one of the things I'd like to do is just to share that the little step-by-step signs that Paul Akers makes. Here's a challenge. Implement one somewhere on the site for something that you want somebody to do in a way that will explain to them how to do it. And actually, just one quick shout out for Japan. They care about function over beauty. You look at Japan and you're like, it's clean, it's beautiful, they're repairing everything, but there's signage freaking everywhere. And like, you go up to the teller machine, all visuals. You go to the restaurants, they have plastic printouts of every freaking meal that they have. You don't have to wonder what in the heck you're ordering. It's all there, 3D printed. Like, I want that. Everything is visual. So my challenge is, how can you clean as a visual system and then start actually printing and laminating visual systems for your people? It will be a game changer for your total participation and the effectiveness of the entire site. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.